Hi, I'm Bridget Newton, and I want to thank you for the honor and privilege of serving as your mayor. I'm proud of my record of leadership and responsiveness. I do agree that there have been changes in our downtown shops and restaurants, but please remember, city government doesn't dictate who private companies lease their space to or which will succeed or fail. And I want you to know that I will continue working hand in hand with property owners to bring businesses to Rockville. Opening soon are Mellow Mushroom, Miso Cafe, Finnegan's Wake, Samovar, Panera Bread, and a World of Beer. And a new Safeway will open serving Twinbrook. New companies like Breezio, Financial Exchange, and Calibri Labs have moved to Rockville. There are new apartments at Upton, Toronto, and the Allaire. Cambria Suites is open and bustling, and shortly the empty lot at the corner of Bell and North Washington will be transformed into a thriving mixed-use project. Suffice it to say, Rockville is happening. But we're also at a crossroads. We can choose to build for the sake of capturing more development, or, with a little more discretion, we can build better. We can choose to be the city that puts our children's education first, with streets a little less congested and one that still offers preeminent services unmatched by any other jurisdiction. Unfortunately, during the last term, the council weakened the APFS without putting in place any other protection, and the next council will have to figure out how to manage growth while still maintaining Rockville's stellar reputation as an award-winning city. On another note, I'm pleased to say that in very short order, the mayor and council returned the Pike Plan to the Planning Commission, and I expect a better plan will be adopted soon. On an issue I've worked for many years, the Maryland General Assembly passed a bill requiring Montgomery County to have an MOU with Rockville, and we should finally receive our fair share of the taxes the county collects on our behalf. My friends, taxes have gone up, but those aren't city taxes. Rockville hasn't raised our rate in the 6 years I've been on the council, and we have near record financial reserves. And speaking of money, I make no apologies for my record as a steward of taxpayer funds. I created the Financial Advisory Board, and I supported hiring a consultant to examine serious issues in our purchasing process. I have and will always hold our city government accountable. I've spent the past 29 years raising our family and volunteering for Rockville, and I've loved being part of making our city one of the best in the country. Rockville is surrounded by jurisdictions, and in the past 2 years as mayor, I've taken on some additional responsibilities to help us have a seat at the table. I serve on boards of the Maryland Municipal League, the Washington Council of Governments, and the COG Transportation Planning Board, working with leaders from all jurisdictions on traffic, pedestrian, and bike safety issues. I also now serve as the chair of the State Legislative Committee, giving Rockville the opportunity to advance our goals in Annapolis. This election, we must elect people who are independent of slate agreements, who pledge to put Rockville's interests first and to work with whomever is elected, not just slate mates. Working together with the people the citizens choose is democracy at its best. I've been very fortunate, and my husband and I have raised 2 children, now amazing adults, who both work to make this world a better and safer place. I want them to come back to Rockville because it's a thriving, vibrant, and safe place to live, work, and raise a family. I want everyone, from students to seniors, to hop on a circulator, not hop in a car, or on 12-lane wide Rockville Pike. I want all of us to be able to dine al fresco and see the stars, not the walls of Crystal City-sized buildings. If you're going to do a job, give it your all and do it right. And I'm proud to say that I've put my heart and soul into being your mayor. I've worked every day to represent you, to serve this city, and to put Rockville's interests first. I ask for your vote to continue serving as our mayor. Thank you for your time, and please visit bridgetformayor.com.
Hi, I'm Simma Odby, and I'm running to be your mayor. Some of you may already know me for 35 years of experience working in service for the city. I've served on Rockville's Election Reform Task Force, Housing Policy Task Force. I helped the process in selecting a city manager. And for our many nonprofits like Peerless Rockville, I've been in a leadership role, helping to preserve our heritage. More recently, you may know me as the first chair of Emerge Maryland, a statewide organization that has now trained dozens of women to seek state and local elected and appointed office. I'm running because Rockville is really an outstanding place to live in, work, learn, and play. It provides excellent services that keep our diverse neighborhoods really vibrant. I'm running to be your mayor because Rockville faces a crossroads right now. Change is taking place all around us and within the city. But the key decisions that are needed to move us forward into the 21st century haven't been made. This year is especially important because we start 4-year terms for the mayor and council instead of the 2 that we're used to. So we really can't afford continued stalemate. The mayor and council must lead by representing the entire city, by acting to manage the effects of the change, and by embracing opportunities that revitalize the city and enhance the qualities here that we most value. Doing nothing really has its costs. We have a wonderful town center, but it's beginning to flounder. Too many stores are empty. Rockville Pike, which has long been our economic engine, is losing businesses and jobs, and with them, the commercial tax base that helps pay for the excellent services we as residents count on. The Pike revitalization has been hampered because it's using a 26-year-old plan, but its update is stalled in 8 years of indecisions. So what will I do as your mayor? I will bring proven leadership with a depth of experience in complex organizations and small organizations as well, where I've had success building consensus, making complex decisions, and getting them implemented. You can learn more about my experience by going to my website at www.simmaworksforrockville.org. I hope you will please elect me and all 4 members of Team Rockville so we can fix Town Center, pass a new plan to revitalize the Pike, and work to preserve our neighborhoods and excellent services. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Barl Fineberg. As a current council member seeking re-election for a 4-year term, I want to continue to serve you, the residents, businesses, and nonprofit providers in our great city. I seek re-election as an independent candidate, independent thinker, proven leader, and results-oriented decision maker. If re-elected, I will continue to preserve the traditions and residential heritage of Rockville while planning for the future. We are at a crossroads in the city. On the one hand, we want to preserve the central character of our city with its charming, family-oriented neighborhoods. On the other hand, we need to ensure that we have a reasonably business-friendly environment so that the tax revenues from business can help pay for the cost of city services. I embrace neither a no-growth nor an unbridled growth policy. I believe that we must have a policy of balanced growth and that new projects must be considered thoughtfully and implemented carefully. The unintended neighborhood and fiscal consequences must be identified and analyzed so that our residents are not saddled with unwanted burdens. I pledge to continue high-quality services, reliable trash pickup, timely snow removal, responsive city police, and abundant parks, and dedicated city staff, all contributing to making Rockville a unique place. The council must also ensure that the city has the resources to continue to do a first-rate job in making Rockville the envy of cities and counties throughout the state. I will continue to promote an atmosphere of civility among our elected leaders. Transparency, candor, and respect should be a hallmark of relationships among the mayor and council members and staff. As a current council member, I have demonstrated open communication, fact-based debate, and timely decision-making. I always come to meetings prepared and ready to listen to community forum and public hearing speakers. Residents deserve leaders who are independent, not a group or slate that expects and demands lockstep votes on every issue. My qualifications for election to the City Council are long-standing and broad-based. I have been a community activist for the past 25 years and possess strong fiscal management and public policy experience. I am a former executive manager in the county's Office of Management and Budget and am the Deputy Director in the Department of General Services. Highlights of my priorities in the next term include fight for property tax relief to ease the burden on seniors and young families, advocate for neighborhoods and oppose developer interests that ignore and dismiss residents' concerns, overhaul selected aspects of the city's budgeting and procurement processes to ensure the best and most effective use of taxpayer dollars. Make our school zones safer for all Rockville children so that gun stores, pawn shops, and liquor stores cannot be in close proximity to our children as they arrive and depart from school. I ask for your vote on November 3rd so that I may continue my service to the residents of Rockville. For further information, go to www.barlfineberg.com.
Hello, I am Richard Godfrieded, your neighborhood candidate for Rockville City Council. I believe in common sense government that represents the residents of Rockville, not big developers or special interests. I will represent you. Recently, after every neighborhood association and resident spoke up to protect our schools and our children's education, our city council, Team Rockville members were swayed by one fat cat developer. Virginia Onley switched her vote, voted against our children and better schools, a move that only benefited developers. Team Rockville, or as I've heard them called, Team Developer, traded our future for a mixed-use development when we already have empty retail spaces. Sold our children's education so developers could make more money. And you get a tax increase while we paid developers to build here. That's right, Montgomery County is already talking about a tax increase for us because of this tragic vote by Virginia Onley and Team Developer. Our children deserve better than overcrowded portables. Where has the common sense gone in government? It is time to make the developers pay their fair share. You pay because it's big developers, wrong size growth, will give you a longer commute time to work, less time with your family, more congestion. And yes, higher taxes to pay for the infrastructure like schools and roads. While big developers take their money to the bank, even collect tax dollars to build here. That is not fair, and it is not right. I will bring common sense back to City Hall. I will stand up for you, the people of Rockville, not big business. My mind will never be changed to put them ahead of us. I will never stand with them. If you are a fat cat developer, vote for Team Rockville. I don't want their vote and have not taken one dime from you for my campaign. I will not be bought. If you stand with our neighborhoods and residents, PTAs and children, I will stand for you. And I ask that you stand with me and cast your vote for common sense, right-sized growth that will help our community, not hurt it. With more traffic, more overcrowding in our schools. I ask for you to cast your vote for me, Richard Godfrieded, for Rockville City Council. To learn more about Richard Godfrieded and Richard Godfried's campaign, please visit Richard's website at www.votegodfried.com.
Hello, I'm David Hill, and I'm running for City Council. You might recognize me from other Channel 11 broadcasting. I've served on the Planning Commission for nearly 10 years, so I appear regularly on this channel. Before that, I served on the Board of Appeals for 10 years. Between those two bodies, I chaired them 5 times. I further co-chaired the 2002 Charter Review Commission and was a member of the Zoning Ordinance Review Committee. I have loads of planning, land use, and zoning experience, more than any other candidate in this election. The council desperately needs that experience to handle many development issues, make good planning and land use decisions, and apply the zoning ordinance and perhaps update it. And the Rockville Pike Plan is expected to come soon into the new term, and the City Comprehensive Master Plan is due to be rewritten. The council needs knowledgeable, savvy voices with these important city powers focused on representing the citizens' interests. In addition to that mentioned experience, I have served in other municipal capacities and done extensive civic and community service. This includes being the Civic Association president in Hungerford for 5 years, as a nonprofit director, including in the past for Peerless Rockville. I've been a sports coach, a school fundraiser and volunteer, and more. You can see the details of this at my website, www.hillforrockville.org. This equips me to handle the breadth of matters that will come before the mayor and council. I did not need a learning curve to perform well on council. I already know how City Hall functions and most of the players. I'm intimately familiar with the principles of local governance and the foundational city documents. Indeed, I've authored pieces of these documents. Here's the most significant question that you should ask as a voter watching this. Why should you vote for me? I suggest that litany of service qualifies me for a seat on City Council. My decades of volunteer service demonstrate that I care deeply for the city, my community, its neighborhoods, and citizens. In municipal service, I am known for working hard to be prepared, communicating often and regularly in writing, contributing in session, being open-minded, asking good hard questions, identifying merits and connecting them to decisions, handling difficult and intricate motions. I'm proud to suggest that service on the council for me will be about more of the same performance. Through my years of service, I already demonstrated that I know how to listen to input and recall it in deliberations, discern the important points and prod for them in questioning, balance representational duty with personal judgment. I'm practiced at reducing hard decisions to yes and no votes, and make sure that participants know not only what was decided, but why. I know how to collaborate with colleagues or staff, how to sustain a productive and respectful environment. I can be equally graceful in the majority or the minority. Lastly, I do not confuse what is good for the city with what is good for me. It's not about one person, it's about what's good for the public welfare. I've served you well in many positions for a long time. That's been training for this next credible step of running for elective office. Please enable me to make that step by favoring me with your vote. I think I can do some good for the community as a return on investment for the city government has served for me. From that explanation of why vote for me, you might judge that my candidacy is generally about service, not about an agenda of issues. Still, current issues exist and you deserve to know my views. Instead of reducing these to sound bites in this short spot, I invite you to read about them extensively at your leisure on my website, www.hillforrockville.org. Thank you for your attention at this time and listening to the spot. Please fulfill your part in the democratic process by voting on City Election Day, November 3rd, at a polling place near you.
I am Brigita Mullikin, and I'm running to represent you on the Rockville City Council. I'm running because I love Rockville. I have called this city of ours for over 50 years, and they have been some of the best years of my life. But I realize that for Rockville to remain the fantastic city, we need strong leaders to stand up and represent our neighbors. I believe that I am that person. Let me tell you why. I served as the budget officer for the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services for over 30 years. In that time, I gained a strong understanding of the budgetary process and have developed a keen eye for waste. Here in Rockville, I spent 7 years on the Rockville Planning Commission. My time on the commission gave me a keen understanding of how the city of Rockville works and how it can be improved. It also made me a key player in the approval process for King Farm, Falls Grove, and the town center developments, and I took part in shaping the Rockville's master plan. Finally, I was a member of the Rockville Sister City Corporation and have served 3 terms as president. In this capacity, I help foster our city's relationship with Pinneberg, Germany, and Jiaxing, China. This has given me an added appreciation for the wonderful diversity that exists in our great city and the importance of recognizing and celebrating it. But I will bring more to the council than years of experience. I will also bring a clear vision for the future of our city. Put simply, we need smarter spending. We pay a lot of taxes, and it is important that tax dollars be spent wisely. Just throwing more money at a problem does not make it go away. As councilwoman, I will keep an eye on the city budget and ensure that every penny of taxpayer money is used as efficiently and effectively as possible. That means changing the way business as usual is conducted at City Hall. I will join others on the council to urge a full review of the city's operation. Because we've always done something one way doesn't mean it's still the best way. Here's one example. The town center development. To date, it has cost Rockville taxpayers $90 million and boosted our debt to 28%. Too many on the council today are content with those figures. I am not. I pledge to you that I will fight every day for cheaper and more effective development in Rockville. I'll conclude with this. If you want someone who has worked with Rockville citizen and the city staff over 30 years as a neighborhood activist, I am your candidate. If you want someone who can devote full attention to council duties, I am your candidate. If you want someone who will represent all of Rockville citizens, no matter creed or color, age or identity, I am your candidate. If you want someone who believes in balancing the rights of individual property owners and the community at large, I am your candidate. If you want someone who is an independent voice and not the mouthpiece of special interests, political partisan, or political teams, I am your candidate. If you want someone to work hard and ask tough questions, I am your candidate. If you want someone with knowledge of the many subjects the council has to deal with, from development to traffic, to federal, state, and local environmental standards, I am your candidate. If you want someone who loves Rockville and has lived here nearly all her life, I am your candidate. And if you want someone to be your voice on the City Council, I am your candidate. My name is Brigita Mullikin, and I am your candidate for Rockville City Council. I hope you vote for me on November 3rd or early voting October 24th and 25th.
Hello, I'm Councilmember Virginia Onley. I'm asking for your vote on November 3rd to re-elect me to the Rockville City Council. I've lived in Rockville for 22 years at Americana Center. I have a passion to serve our city. In addition to having had the honor to represent you on our City Council, I have served on 9 Rockville boards and commissions, and I have enjoyed leading Americana's Homeowners Board as its president and serving on the Parish Council at St. Mary's Church, among many other community involvements. I'm retired from IBM, where I worked for 35 years. During my first term on the council, I ensured that our adequate public facilities ordinance would allow us to maintain and renew our city so that young families with children, teachers, firefighters, police officers, and senior citizens like me can afford to live in our city. We cannot be afraid of growth, and I support smart, practical growth in the years to come. Let's grow together, and let's do it our way, the way that's best for the present and future of Rockville. I don't want us to be left behind by development all around us, and I want us to decide together how we want to manage our growth. Rockville needs elected officials who will work with our neighborhood representatives and neighborhood residents, our planning commission, city staff, and potential developers so that we strike the right balance of growth and development and stand committed to protecting our neighborhoods and not letting development harm the character or community life of those neighborhoods, making sure we vigilantly manage development and developers. This is important to me, and I stand committed to protecting our neighborhoods while we maintain and renew our city. I have been called the swing vote on the council. A swing voter is someone who is not affiliated with a particular person or party and who always votes independently. I will continue to be your independent swing vote on the council, continuing to listen to you and review all facts before voting on what works best for our city. My work is not done, and to continue my work, I need your vote on November 3rd to re-elect me to the Rockville City Council. Let's talk about Team Rockville, the slate of exciting candidates I am proud to support and campaign with. Being a part of Team Rockville aligns me with candidates who, like me, want to maintain the character of our city while we renew and compete with neighboring jurisdictions. So that is why I agreed to be a part of Team Rockville 2015. To learn more about me, please visit our website at votevirginiaonley.org or send me an email at virginiacares@votevirginiaonley.org. Thank you for listening.
Hi, I'm Julie Palakovich Carr. It's been my pleasure to serve as your City Council member for the past 2 years. My service on the Council has been guided by a vision of Rockville as a great place to live for people and families at all stages of life. As new parents, my husband and I like to think about what Rockville will be like when our son grows up. I want him to inherit a community that has safe and affordable neighborhoods and excellent schools. I hope that there will be abundant, high-paying jobs and thriving local businesses and stores. Residents should be able to walk or bike safely throughout the city and have ample access to public transportation. I want Rockville to continue to be a municipality that provides excellent services without overburdening taxpayers. During my first term on the City Council, I've worked to fulfill this vision for Rockville. My proudest accomplishment this term was the passage of a much-needed overhaul of the city's animal control ordinance. Rockville will be a safer, more humane place for pets because of this change in law. A new water conservation program I initiated is helping low-income and elderly residents save money and conserve our water resources. I pushed for a greater emphasis on pedestrian and bicyclist safety in the Rockville Pike Plan. I also pressed for common sense reforms on the use of taxpayer money to pay for travel and attendance at events by elected officials and their spouses. But my work is not finished. Rockville should be a community where no one loses their life or jeopardizes their safety because they were walking or biking. We can design our roadways to be safer for pedestrians, bicyclists, and people in vehicles. I'm working with the city's Traffic and Transportation Commission and Bike Advisory Committee to implement a new policy called Vision Zero, which aims to eliminate fatalities and serious injuries on our roadways. We can better protect the environment by reducing the amount of trash we generate. The city already has an award-winning recycling program. Let's build on that success by enabling residents to easily compost food waste and giving a discount to people who generate less trash. We need to continue our superb services for our residents and invest in the city's aging infrastructure. Snow plowing, trash pickup, road repairs, these basic tenets of government set Rockville apart from other jurisdictions and contribute to a good quality of life. We also need to address a looming problem. Rockville Town Center is floundering. Although the city doesn't own most of the property, it is the heart of our downtown and the center of our community. We need to work with local businesses, commercial property owners, residents, and other stakeholders to fix the problems ailing Town Center. We cannot let Rockville's downtown fail yet again. I bring a wealth of experience to tackle these issues. Prior to being elected to the City Council in 2013, I led several city advisory groups. I chaired a task force convened by the Planning Commission that reviewed city policy regarding new development. I chaired the Watersheds Committee while serving on the city's Environment Commission, where I helped Rockville become the second municipality in Maryland to be certified as sustainable. I also served as vice chair of the City Services and Budget Working Group, which examined the city's long-term fiscal health. It has been an honor to serve you as a council member. I want to continue to work with the community to keep Rockville a thriving place. I hope that I can count on your vote on November 3rd. I also hope that you will support the other members of Team Rockville. Simma Odby is running for mayor, and for council, I'm running with Clark Reid, Mark Pchala, and Virginia Onley. Learn more about my campaign at julieforrockville.com.
Hello, my name is Mark Pchala, and I served on the Rockville City Council from 2009 to 2013. You cannot re-elect me to office this year, but you can return me to a council seat, and that is what I'm asking you to do. I loved being on City Council from 2009 to 2013. I learned that I can lead from a council seat. I have several accomplishments from those 4 years that only I can claim as a candidate. I am the only candidate from that era who voted for the police station and for the senior center improvements. I am the only one that voted to attract choice hotels to Rockville that gave a badly needed boost to our town center. Bringing choice hotels to Rockville led directly to a town center hotel, a long-standing goal of the city. It also led to a great reduction in our year-to-year parking subsidy. And I wrote the resolution that moved the Redgate Golf Course to private management, also resulting in much savings and improving its long-term prospects. I know this city in ways that few others do. In 2009, before I was first elected to council, I biked every street in Rockville. In 2014 and 2015, I walked every street, every park, and every public school campus in Rockville. That was 519 miles of walking in 204 trips in 10.5 months from 20 degrees to 90 degrees. I even found a street that wasn't on the city maps. I have biked your street and I have walked it probably many times. I learned a few things. I saw that Rockville is a hustling, bustling city with many assets. But there are cracks in the foundation. There are 15 empty storefronts in our town center, either in Town Square or within a block of it. This is stunning, given the huge amount of money we spent on it just a few years ago. Its further development has been stunted by two tight public facility standards. These were recently revised to match the county standards by 3 courageous council members. I will keep these new standards. The fight for school construction belongs at the county level. I and Team Rockville will lead that fight. We will form a county-wide movement to increase the number of classrooms. Mere advocacy will not work. There are other neighborhood centers that have empty storefronts. King Farm has several, and Twin Brook has them too. Rockshire Village Center is almost vacant. Empty storefronts are never a good thing. Additionally, some commercial centers are badly deteriorated. The city should help rather than hinder their renewal so they are an attractive, viable, and vibrant part of their neighborhoods. I look at the city's future by looking at the prospects of our very own children. I ask myself, will our children be able to afford to live and work in Rockville when they are young adults? And will they want to? Indeed, will my own daughters, now 21 and 24, who went through MCPS schools from kindergarten through high school, will they be able to live here as independent adults? And my friends, family generations living in the same town, that is the hallmark of a hometown. I am thrilled to run with Team Rockville, and this is such a great team. We are diverse in our backgrounds and in the skills we bring. Team Rockville will save our town center, finish the Rockville Pike Plan, and lead the fight for additional school funding. We know how to get things done, and we are the team to elect for Rockville's first 4-year term. Please bring me back to City Council, and please visit my website at votepchala.org. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Clark Reid, and I'm running for City Council as a member of Team Rockville. We live in a wonderful city, a hometown with diverse neighborhoods, good jobs, excellent schools, and an abundance of community services for people of all ages. Rockville is small enough that we can bump into friends and neighbors at the corner store and still enjoy big city amenities that come from living on the doorstep of our nation's capital. I'm proud to call Rockville my home, and I know you are too. When you grow up in a family like mine, with a mom and dad committed to public service, you learn at an early age that life is best when you give back. I would be honored to represent you. If I earn your vote, I will work for a Rockville that is vibrant, sustainable, and bold as we rise to meet the challenges of our time. Let's start with the economy. Town Center is the heart of our city. It's our public square where we gather to celebrate, meet friends, or take our kids to play on a summer day. It's one of my family's favorite biking destinations. I'm worried though, because Town Center is struggling economically. Restaurants have come and gone, businesses have shuttered their windows, and vacancy signs are popping up nearby. We need to make Town Center more attractive to businesses by attracting more shoppers, more families, and people of all ages. What if we made parking free at Town Center on Saturdays like they do in Bethesda? What if we moved the Saturday Farmers Market into Town Center and expanded it? Whatever we do, we need decisive action and innovation because city revenues and services that we depend upon are based on a prosperous economy. Another economic hub in our city that needs help is Rockville Pike. Plans for revitalizing it have recently stalled, even after 8 years of public hearings, drafts, and revisions. Updating a plan from 1989 should not take this long. The pursuit of perfection is delaying our ability to attract new employers, new jobs, and new revenues. We need a new Pike plan to remain competitive in our region. Our neighborhoods are what make Rockville a great place to live. They're safe, they're walkable, and I want to preserve their character from the development going on in the rest of the city. They're full of friendly people too. Our neighbors in Twin Brook are a big reason for the quality of life that we enjoy. Over the years, my wife Colleen and I have formed close ties with many neighbors, especially families from our son's school. Colleen served as PTA president last year at Twin Brook Elementary, where Lincoln is a 4th grader. Community building was her focus because we know how important that is to quality of life and successful outcomes. I'd like to see more community building in Rockville. This year, over 250 families came together to form the Rockville Solar Co-op. Many will be installing rooftop solar systems at a major discount, increasing the value of their homes and producing their own clean power. Starting this co-op is one of my proudest achievements as chair of the Environment Commission. I think there may be a hunger for more co-ops, so I'm interested in launching a tool lending library, like other cities have done, to allow residents to borrow tools and equipment, just like books can be checked out from a traditional library. Tool libraries save you money on big purchases that you don't have to make. They bring us together to share advice and learn new skills. I began my service to the city 4 years ago when I was appointed to the Environment Commission. I currently chair the body, having been elected 3 times since 2012. I like to broaden my service to the city by serving on the City Council. I'm proud to be running as part of a team of candidates called Team Rockville. I believe together we have the vision and experience and independent thought to make Rockville a vibrant, prosperous, and sustainable city. I would be privileged to have you choose me when you vote for council this November. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Patrick Schae, and I'm a candidate for Rockville City Council. Rockville is a vibrant, livable city. We have excellent services, attractive parks, and active residents. We are hailed as one of the best places to live, one of the best cities for families, and one of the best places to retire. The reason we live, raise families, and retire here is because of who we are, our community character. If you, like me, believe we need smarter city development and to preserve our residential neighborhoods, if you believe we need to protect small businesses and prioritize our schools and affordable housing, and if you believe we need more value and better city governance for the taxes we pay, then we are here for the same reason. My family started in King Farm 12 years ago. 3 years later, we bought a house in East Rockville, a few blocks from the elementary school my daughters now attend. I'm a proud resident who wants to preserve what brought us here and what we treasure about Rockville. This process begins by knowing where we are going and what we will not compromise to get there. My vision for Rockville is strategic and balanced development in which Rockville leads the discussion. Strong neighborhoods, healthy schools, thriving small businesses, more affordable housing options, and better city governance. This vision requires leadership, direction, and integrity. It requires fresh perspective and experience in getting the right things done. And it requires commitment, first and foremost, to our residents and small businesses. This is what I do. I have provided leadership to hundreds of organizations. I have brought together people and diverse perspectives and approaches, and I have developed reliable solutions to complicated challenges for organizations large and small. My history of success comes from participating honestly, considering multiple options, and ensuring initiatives get done every time, as promised. I've also been active in each city in which I have lived, producing sustained results in every community. In Rockville, this activity has expanded rapidly over the past 2 years. I've served on local committees and volunteered, and led successful initiatives to protect schools, neighborhoods, and small businesses. In the next 18 months, we will be developing a new Rockville Master Plan, which will provide a legal framework for the future of our city. I want to participate in the development of this master plan to ensure it will take us where we want to go. Only through clear direction, strong leadership, and integrity will we be able to craft a well-designed master plan to address the needs of our residents and small businesses, to take meaningful action and implement solutions to their needs, and to measure our results. If you want a council member whose vision is balanced development in which Rockville leads the discussion, healthier neighborhoods, schools, businesses, and governance, and a leader who has repeatedly brought people together and solved complicated challenges, then I am your candidate. I'm asking for your vote on November 3rd. If you give me a seat at the table, I promise to give you all my energy and commit to preserving our community character, which makes Rockville the place we call home. Thank you.